Hey y'all, welcome back in my mama's kitchen, and we're going to do the onion show part 2. If you remember or saw one of my previous videos I sauteed a whole bunch of onions, about 3 pounds. Got them right here. What I'm going to do tonight is we're making French dip sandwiches. Absolutely delicious sandwiches. So I'm going to go ahead and get the stove on. And I'm going to scrape all these caramelized onions that I did. And I want every bit of it. So those are going in the pan. I'm going to add 1 can of beef consommé, plus a can of water. I'm also going to add a packet of Lipton onion soup mix. And the more oniony, the better. And I'm adding about 1.5 cups of beef broth. Now this is going to be what we cook the meat in. But first we're going to let it cook and simmer for about 30 minutes. Give it a good flavor to it. Now I'm using a silicone whisk in my nonstick pan. You never want to use a metal whisk, because that is the quickest way to ruin a nonstick pan. Alright, now I only use that to mix up the French onion soup. Now I'll just keep going with the wooden spoon. I'm going to add about 5 dashes of Worcestershire sauce. Just a dash of seasoned salt. Not even a 1/4 teaspoon. Some Montreal steak seasoning, probably about 1/4 teaspoon. And a lot of black pepper. Really, you want to bring this to a boil, and then you want to let it simmer for about 30 minutes. Turn the heat down and just let it simmer. So I brought the soup to a boil, or the mixture actually, but this is also basically French onion soup right here. So I brought that to a boil, then I lowered the heat, and I'm just going to cover it and let it simmer. And then we'll check back in. Welcome back. The onion mixture is cooking very well. I'm going to do a taste test here. It's boiling hot, even though I've got it on low. The thing about gas burners, they tend to run a little hot. So I'm just checking for seasonings. It's perfect. What I've done is I've got 2 sub rolls here. I've split them in half, and I'm liberally buttering them, or at least trying to. And then I'm going to put them in the oven and broil them and get a nice, good, crispy crust on them, because that's what you're going to need to hold up to the moisture from the sandwiches. These are messy, they're going to fall apart, but that's what happens. So I'm going to go ahead and get these in the oven. And guys and gals, please keep an eye on your bread. It will burn like that. So trust me, I've burned a lot. It happens. Now what I'm going to be using to make the French dip, I bought some London broil. It's a really superior roast beef. It was actually on sale. I normally use roast beef, but this is so much more tender and flavorful. And I hate that word flavorful, but it fits. So what I'll be doing is, when the buns are ready, I'm going to take them out, put cheese on them, put them back in the oven under the broiler and let the cheese melt. Then I'll take them out and put the meat slice by slice into the onion mixture, soup mixture, just for 20 seconds. Take it out, put it on the bun, and then if you want, you can put more cheese on it. I do. I like a lot of cheese. I'm using Swiss and provolone. Some people like only Swiss, some like only provolone. Use whatever cheese you want. It's your sandwich. Now I got my bread out of the oven and now I'm putting cheese on it. The reason you do this is it helps the bread crust from soaking up a lot of the moisture and getting really soggy. It's gonna get soggy, it's gonna fall apart, but it's delicious. It's messy, eat it. So I'm gonna put this in the broiler. Just to melt the cheese. And get our meat ready. And I had them slice it very thin, not shaved. You don't want it completely falling apart. Got the bread with the cheese melted out of the oven. And first I'm going to make Mana her sandwich. Now you're just dropping this into the onion soup mix. I'm going to turn it up just a little. Okay, making sure it's on. And as you can see, this is very, very thin, almost to the point of falling apart. And then you just toss it around in the onion mixture with help if I got a plate. See, this is what happens when you don't prepare. Normally I have everything ready, but I didn't this time. So you pull the meat out, and just pile it onto the bread. And watch it fall over. Top down, crunch it down. You hear that little crunchy crust. Then you get a little bit of the au jus as your dipping sauce. Now I've made French fries to go with this, so she will enjoy those. Take this to her. Be right back. All right, now I'm going to make mine. And it doesn't really matter if the meat falls apart. It's just going to make it easier to eat. And this is fully cooked, by the way. And you're just cooking it just a little bit longer. Why not? And again, just swirl it around. Get the little bit of the pinkness off of it. And then pull it up. Oh, hello, Miss Dummy. You smell something good, I can tell. I have a dog begging for food right now. They fall over. All right, so I got all the meat out of there. Turn this off. Now I'm gonna add more cheese to mine because I can. Press it down. dip into. Now the cool thing is, on this leftovers, I'm gonna make French onion soup with it. All you do is you get an oven-safe bowl, fill it with your soup, put a crustini or a slice of French bread that you've toasted, and then cover it with Gruyere or good Swiss cheese, and then broil it till the cheese is brown and bubbly. So you get basically 2 meals out of this. All right, so let's try a bite. Like I said, it's messy. Mmm. Very messy, but it's actually really delicious. So I hope you try it. Let me know. Please subscribe, like these videos. We'll keep making more for you. And I hope you have a great night. Thank you.